Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor. And this continues to be this space for hidden seekers who are looking to step into their purpose and remove the blocks that hold them from it. I'm excited to be here with you today. And it's been a few tough weeks. It's been difficult to say that the last couple of weeks, but I can say that I honestly bring you very good news. Likely most of you are also experiencing clarity and the insight that is necessary to push through what has been holding you back the last couple of weeks. Technically, this is not a Monday Magic Intuitive Energy reading. I will cover that on Monday. But I'm just so excited to be feeling like we are pushing through whatever has been like quicksand the last couple of weeks. And that will help support the topic of the video today, which is I have yet to come up with a title, so don't shoot me if it doesn't match exactly what is brought forward here. But generally, this sense of overgiving and perfectionism and the reasons that we are driven to do more than we really need to do. And so when you have experienced conditioning and programming in the world that has taught you that maybe you aren't quite good enough, if you receive the subtle message from your parents or your caregivers or your peers or your teachers or the military at some point in your life that you are somehow not worthy, if we didn't feel safe, seen, heard, cared for, or loved as a child, we subconsciously received the program that there's something wrong with me. And what that causes us to do is to drive to prove that we are worthy, that we are good enough. And we do this through the things that we accomplish. And so as a type A personality, as a high achiever, as a corporate individual, especially, we receive the program that it's good to work. It's good to work hard. And we take that to an extreme. It's good to overwork. It's good to give too much. It's good to overgive. It's good to people please. And we don't even realize we're doing it until we start to wake up to our program. And we don't realize how much it's hurting us, that we are living the life that they say we should because we are so subconsciously afraid of not being good enough, of not doing the right thing, of doing something wrong, of not being the good girl, of not being the most desirable professional in my industry. And it's so subtle, it is so sneaky how these things can sneak back in even after we go through the healing. We have a tendency to drive ourselves to burnout. We work too hard. We put in too much effort. We give too much. We drive from the wrong place. And that's really the key phrase that I want to go after here today, is doing the things we do for the wrong reason. I absolutely love Simon Sinek. He's knowing your why, lead with why, understand your why. I'm a huge proponent of the 5 why strategy, asking the question, not exactly why, but really asking 5 questions that dig deep to get down to the root cause of what's really driving your behavior. Not sure if you realize, but VIBE, for the Vibe Mentor name, is actually an acronym. It stands for Value and Intention-Based Education, because your intention is everything. First, it starts with what value do you have to bring to the world, and then how do you intend to use it? But what's very common for us who overgive, people please, or perfectionists, or high achievers, or climbing the corporate ladder, we have a tendency to think we're doing things for one reason and not realize that the underlying true intention behind what we're doing is driven by scarcity, by fear, by that running from not being good enough, trying to prove our value and worth. And so I encourage you today to really take a look at, why do you work the job that you work? Why do you do what you do? Why do you stay in a job that you don't love? Why do you stay in that soul-sucking 9-to-5 job that you then have to turn around and numb the pain from on the times that you look forward to? We live for the evenings and the weekends. And then when we finally get there, we have so much suppressed emotion over this soul-sucking job that we continue to do. We have to numb out or check out or disassociate or look away from in some sort of form or fashion through coping mechanisms. Maybe it's shopping, maybe it's buying new clothes or new purses and new cars, or maybe it's alcohol, or maybe it's gambling, or maybe it's porn addictions, or maybe it's Instagram models, or whatever your coping mechanism may be. It's all driven by the ignoring of the pain and the wounding that we force ourselves to suck up and suffer through. And I want to explain to you how pervasive this can be and how subtle it can be. I talk a lot about how the conditioning, the programming, the trauma, whatever you want to call it, it hides in our blind spot. It hides in our, the area where we need a review mirror, or we need really the opposite. We need the mirror of the other to help us see this. We can go through and heal this. And I'll use myself as an example today, where I have left the corporate world. I have been very diligently pursuing my life purpose. I know that joy is my compass. It leads me towards the thing that the divine made me for. It leads me towards the fulfilling work that makes life worthwhile, that makes me jump out of bed, that I'm excited for a Monday morning, and I actually have true happiness. But here's the thing. My trauma and conditioning taught me that I have to work hard, and that I have to do things in business because I have to, because the industry says we have to. This is an industry norm that I have to work 40 hours a week. For example, I left the corporate world, stepped into my purpose. I was loving making YouTube videos. I started really posting diligently June of 2021, and I was ecstatic, over the moon, loved posting every single day. I enjoyed it. It made me happy. And then I let these little sneaky, pervasive goals sneak in that I didn't quite realize were coming from a place of wounding instead of a place of desire. And 8 years ago, happy birthday to my beautiful little daughter. Today is her 8th birthday. But 8 years ago, when she was born, I decided to quit my job and start my business. And that first time around, I decided I wanted to save all of the children. Right? It's always a goal of boiling the ocean or saving the world, right? I wanted to change the entire education system. And it was a grandiose dream that, yes, seems noble and honorable, but it's coming from a place of desiring to prove that my goals are valuable and worthy, and therefore in turn proving that I'm a good person and I have done enough. And I didn't see that. What I did see was the weight and the heaviness and the density of that goal. And then it didn't work out. Surprise, surprise, coming from such a place of lack and scarcity that I had to go back to the corporate world. And I did that for 3 years. And again, that was driven by having to prove that I'm still a good professional, that I can still do a good job, that I still have good value and worth, because my business didn't work out. And so I went through that for 3 years, and come to find out, tricky little statistic here, it most often takes about 3 years for us to realize that we are not happy in our jobs. The first year is the honeymoon phase, where we feel like, oh, new opportunity. I can do this, new people, new environment. This is going to be the thing. Then the second year of questioning, what's wrong? Something doesn't feel right. I thought this was going to be good, and it doesn't seem like it's going well. And what do I need to do to fix it? And then the third year of, I'm fed up. I'm done. This is clearly not working. I've got to get out. And it's very interesting how my life has been in 3-year cycles. Everyone has their own cycles. That's a topic for a different day, but you might want to start noticing your time frame cycles. But after 3 years in the corporate world, I had to go back. My soul urge never let me truly let go of that desire to do something that matters, the desire for something fulfilling, the desire for happiness, true actual happiness, and not just getting by or striving or surviving. Really, I wanted to thrive. And so again, 2021, June of 2021, I left the corporate world again, and I did a good job the second time for a little bit. I loved my YouTube channel. I loved making videos. I love showing up for you. I love free value. I love inspiring you, inspiring you or bringing inspiration. I love showing up in this way. This is something that I'm made to do. And yet I let something sneak back in, and I didn't see it until recently. In fact, maybe the last 48 hours have I really started to embrace the realization that is coming through. I decided that I wanted to heal the world's trauma. Yes, speaking about conditioning and programming and trauma and the nervous system and the limbic system. And I love studying all those things. I love learning about it. I love healing my own. I love sharing the journey of that healing with you. I love teaching you how to do it. I even love the healing sessions. But what I didn't love was the prison that I was creating for myself through the sneaky little desire to heal the entire world's trauma. That little trauma demon that sits on my shoulder that says, "Are you doing enough? Yeah, you're having a lot of fun with those YouTube videos. Are you sure you're working hard enough? Yeah, you learned all about this trauma one channel. Are you sure that's enough? Shouldn't you be on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and podcast and a community and a certification program and one-to-one coaching? And I'm at 9 in case anyone's counting. It's too much. It's too much. And it all came from that sneaky little trauma demon that wanted to tell me I wasn't doing enough. And so I think it's so important for us as high achievers to realize that, yes, the desire to leave the corporate world is valid, and your soul urge likely will not leave you alone. And you will still have to numb out as long as you don't take that leap. But an exit strategy is critically important because you will fall into the trap of having to prove your value and worth, even in your purpose. That you will have to look for, am I doing enough to prove I am enough? You will look for evidence of, do I have the right to enjoy my life? Do I have the right to enjoy my purpose? And that's why the exit strategy, stepping into your purpose, testing the waters, developing a plan, getting your solid, grounded business structure set up before you take the leap is critically important, because moving into your purpose triggers your trauma even more. And so that's why I have the 3-prong approach: heal your trauma, then identify your purpose, then step into grounded business strategy before you transition. And all of this is so important, like I said, because I've been doing this for 2 years and I'm fully aware of trauma conditioning and programming, fully aware of trauma responses, and it still sneaks in. And to top it off, I've been talking to my therapist about this for 4 weeks straight, and he and I together still could not identify that. Finally came to me. Might have something to do with Mercury Kazemi. I won't blame him. But point being, you have to work through these things before you try to step into it. Because if you step too quickly, if you move too soon, that lack and scarcity will be too overwhelming for you to find success. And so we cannot come from a place of lack, scarcity, or striving, because what we will create is more of the same. And so when I asked for business growth, I wasn't going to receive it because it was coming from a place of scarcity. So thank goodness life is happening for me and not to me. And it has been squeezing me and pushing me back towards the thing that brings me joy, pushing me back towards my purpose, which is found through your joy compass, right? Know that life is going to push you out. It's going to push you out of the corporate position. It's going to push you out of the am I enough strategy. It's going to push you out of proving your value and worth in an unsustainable lack scarcity mindset. It is going to push you towards alignment. And only when we are aligned to our purpose and our path, including our heart's desire, will we be able to make something work. And it will be painful. It will feel like the push is like pushing a boulder up a hill when you're trying to do something that you're not supposed to do. It will also be painful when life pushes you out of the position that you have been digging your heels into and you're not meant to be in. And so the best way to go about this is to have an exit strategy, to become aware of your tendencies, to know what drives you, to know what's in your blind spot, to heal that trauma, Then identify your purpose, follow your joy compass, stay aligned to your heart's desire, and don't let that little trauma demon talk you into or out of anything that is not aligned to your original design and to your heart's desire. I hope this lands for you. I hope I made that clear enough for you. I think you also may receive the message through this that you will be seeing more of me in many fun and different ways. I can't make any commitments right now. I'm still kind of navigating what that's going to look like. But I love you, my friends. I am here for you. And I hope that you can collapse time and prevent hardship by learning through my experiences. I love you, my friends. Please do make sure you like, subscribe, and share to help spread the message, grow the channel, and end human suffering. I love you. Namaste.